Hi everyone. In this video, I'm gonna go through uh, all the tools you are gonna need in 502 course. And the very first thing we have already seen, that's Canvas, and that will be the place that you submit all the homework. And plus, I will also post your grades on Canvas. So at the very end of this semester, and then you can see all the grades, and then based on your grades, and you can pretty much figure out what your final letter will be even before they are posted. Okay, and the next thing, well, the local Python environment. Well, I believe y'all have already received the computer from the data science program, and make sure that you have the Python 3 installed. And then, if you want to write Python on your local machine without using the dive server, and then feel free to check out PyCharm. Well, that is a very cool IDE and IDE for Python, and I have been using PyCharm for 4 years now, and I think PyCharm is a really good tool. And another thing is Anaconda. You do have Anaconda installed, and but if you're using your own machine, say if you prefer to use your own Mac machine, and make sure you install Anaconda. Well, I would say the dive server is cool, and you can run a lot of the program on dive server. However, if you want to try something new, you want to install some new packages we don't have on dive server, and then you have to put a request to Dr. Brown and make sure that he's able to install that package for you. And this is not so comfortable from time to time. So eventually, if you are trying to do some creative things, and you may end up with coding on your own machine without on the dive server. And in this way, you can choose either to code on PyCharm, or you want to use your local Anaconda. Okay, and here are some of the my personal suggestions about the DSC 502. And the very first thing, code, 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 and code the whole pipeline. Okay, well, this is the image of the whole pipeline. And if you start from the raw data, and the first section, you want to spend time in data wrangling, cleaning, and preparation. And usually, when you are doing a data science work, you spend 70-80% of time doing the first part, the data engineering work, and then you do machine learning, and that is the part we are going to cover in the next semester. And then, well, model deployment and visualization, and that's the aftermath, and after you have the machine learning model done. Well, but as a science person, you should get ready to code the whole pipeline. So you are expected to write a lot of code for in this course. Okay, and then connection is very important. And if you have chance to see the senior student, and then ask them the questions about their internship and then their experience with job hunting, and go ahead and ask those questions, and make sure that you know each other, and after they graduate, you can still figure out a way to talk to each other. Because I have seen, we have cultivated a culture that for the student graduated 2 years or 3 years ago, they may still come back, and they may try to recruit students for their current company, and that's good. And having the connections will help you get even more opportunities. And the next thing is, well, you may feel the data science courses require you to write a lot of code, and I understand for not all of you guys have the degree in computer science. And if you have degree or work experience in other fields, and that's something good, because, well, doing computers doing the coding, well, is important. But if you have the main understanding on something else, for example, like software engineering, or security, or even sales, that's good, because you can bring your own expertise to the domain, and then that will become a plus when you are applying for full-time jobs in the future. Because one, you know coding really well enough, you are a data science person, and number two, you know another domain, for example, sales. Okay, and then the next thing I want to emphasize is soft skills. Well, of course, I'm going to ask you to write a lot of code, but I'm also requiring you to keep in mind that you have to develop the soft skills needed for data science, because we, as data science person, we code a lot, but we still have to talk to people. Okay, and then make sure that for the work you have done, make sure what you understand what you're doing. For example, later we are going to spend a lot of time doing visualizations, and why we do visualization that way. Well, making the visualization is one thing, but make sense of the plan that we got to the place and we make that visualization is another thing. And you should understand the thinking behind doing the visualizations so that in the future you can make your own visualizations and convey your own ideas. And uh, well, this might be a little bit frustrating, but that's true. Well, data science is here, data science is popular, but data science won't be here forever and keep on learning. And if you are expecting to get a degree and then you get a good paycheck for next 20 years, 30 years, um, no, you ain't gonna have that. Well, you have to keep on learning, not just in this program, but even after you finish this program, you have to keep on learning. And I can't guarantee you that after 10 years, after 20 years, you are still doing data science. Well, the industry is changing constantly. Okay, and then I have already talked about those parts in an earlier video, and we are going to cover some software engineering topics. Well, and we are going to discuss how we are able to develop the code which is reusable and which is easier to maintain in the future. And especially if we want to talk about functions, and function is really a powerful tool for us to redesign the code and reduce the volume of the code, and try to make our code more reusable. And algorithms, well, you have to understand what is a fast algorithm and what is a slow algorithm, and how do we evaluate the fast algorithms and the slower algorithms. And that's important in the next semester when you are going to see, well, 10 or, well, dozens of the machine learning algorithms. And visualization, uh, you need to be able to make visualizations, and plus you need to be able to tell stories based on your visualizations. And we're going to do the weekly labs, and in each lab I usually give you guys one or two questions, and for the course project, and you are expected to do something big. So you started from the proposal, you get the data, you clean the data, and then, well, we are going to skip the machine learning part because that's the topic for the next semester, and then try to make the visualizations and tell us some cool story. Okay, and when you are doing the when you're doing the project, and make sure that everyone is contributing your fair share. I would imagine that for some team member, if you are very strong in technical, you write more code, that's okay. But for other people, and if you are not that strong, you should also contribute some way. Like say, if you're interested in managing the process of the whole team, and go ahead and be the manager. Or if you are strong in making visualizations and telling stories, and then you can take the majority of the presentation. But anyhow, everyone should contribute something. And if one person did all the work and then the rest of the people just buy pizza for the only one people did the work, and I would say that's not right. Okay, and the last thing, well, if you feel sad, if you stress, and if you are not so happy with your life, um, try to find someone to talk to. And there's a counseling center in UNCW, and you can talk to your friends. Or if you want to drag me to a bar and have some alcohol, my answer is, if you are buying, I'm in. Okay. Okay, well, anyhow, life is tough, but, well, don't give up. Okay, and I think that's the end of this video.